the hottest stock there is belongs to this man right here, Michael Saylor. A lot of comparisons to NVIDIA, because a lot of people think, well, NVIDIA has to be the hottest stock there is, right? No, if you look at MicroStrategy, it's quite amazing. The volume MicroStrategy has reached close to 18% of NVIDIA in October, yet its market cap is only 1.5%. It is closing in at 50 billion market cap. And the only reason this is happening is not because Saylor's in AI. It's not because he's producing GPUs. It's not because he has some kind of proprietary technology that other companies do not have. He just has a whole boatload of Bitcoin. That's it. Simple strategy. You buy as much Bitcoin as you can, and you get rewarded for it, right? Especially in bull markets. That's really what it comes down to. It's quite amazing to see. Here you go. You can see the yellow line of MicroStrategy and how it's skyrocketing, and NVIDIA is skyrocketing too. It's just not as much as MicroStrategy these days. Wall Street can't get enough of MicroStrategy and Bitcoin at this point, and it has hit a 25-year high. And if it keeps on going, if it breaks into 300s, that's when it breaks all-time high, because MicroStrategy actually was higher during the dot-com bubble. Believe it or not, yeah, they were actually higher in the dot-com bubble. But here's the thing. Like I said, all they had to do, all Saylor had to do, was buy a boatload of Bitcoin. So are others going to follow? Well, yesterday I covered everyone is thinking about it. Even Microsoft. In their next shareholder meeting, December 10th, Microsoft is going to have the shareholders vote whether or not they should think about investing in Bitcoin. Okay. Doesn't mean that it's going to get approved. But the simple fact that they're actually proposing a vote on that shows you how far Bitcoin has come. And Microsoft holds $76 billion worth of cash. Imagine if they're like, okay, let's just put 70 billion of that in Bitcoin. That would be a terrific thing, okay? We got a lot of companies out there that have enormous amount of cash. They don't know what to do with it. Normally speaking, these big companies, they have no clue what to do with it. They know inflation will rob them. So they do one of two things. They try to make a big acquisition, and there's only so many you could do. And plus, a lot of these big ones, they can't just acquire their competitors, because then it'll be seen as an antitrust thing. So then they just do like a dividend buyback. That's really it. Otherwise, they just hold their billions and it just goes to waste. So what they really should is buy assets like Bitcoin. That's what Saylor's been doing, and it's been working. He has been proving it. So all these big tech giants and just companies in general that have a boatload of cash, that's what they should do. Maybe not all of it. You don't have to go all of it, but just even 10%. For Microsoft, even 10%. That's like 7.6 billion. That's a lot. That's a lot to just be throwing into Bitcoin right away. But for them, that's only 10% of their cash. That's like nothing. And they make like 20 or 30 billion like every single quarter. So it's like they could put so much every single quarter if they wanted to. But Apple is probably going to do the same thing. Amazon, Facebook, NVIDIA, every big, Dell, Cisco, every big tech company is probably going to go in this direction at some point soon. Not this year, next year. Everyone is going to think about it, and that is going to be absolutely fantastic. So what about this 100K prediction by this date? Well, this analyst thinks it's going to be February. And it's going to be completely within reason. Why? Why? Well, he took the average of the last 2 bull markets, combined them, and then projected where we are versus them and where the path is, right, versus the previous average 2 cycles. And if you follow that, well, then it shows that right around February is when we hit that 100K mark. There you go. There you go. It's that simple. It's that simple. You just look at what's happened before and you equate it to what is happening now. Doesn't mean that it can't come earlier. Doesn't mean that it can't come by the end of this year, right? For example, Standard Chartered thinks that, hey, if the Republicans take Congress and if Trump becomes president, Bitcoin is going to surge up to the moon, 125K by the end of this year, right? So it could come sooner than expected. So who knows? Who knows at this point, right? There are a lot of predictions. The only thing we go by is we just have to wait and see. But there are a lot of supporting factors. The macro conditions are improving. The fundamentals are improving. The whales are coming in. The ETF buys keep on increasing. A lot of major metrics and signals are supporting this thesis that 100K is around the corner. If we have to wait another 4 months to February, so be it. It's going to come. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. However, if you're looking at the options market, a lot of people think that it's not going to come by the end of this year. There's only a 10% chance, if you're looking at the option market, that it will hit 100K. So, who's right? Who's wrong? We'll see. However, like I've been saying, whales, and whales, they have been loading up no matter what. Whales are always loading up and they're not stopping. Within the last 2 weeks, you have another 300 wallets with more than 100 Bitcoin. It keeps on going up. And the wallets with under 100 Bitcoin are actually shrinking. So there are retail investors that are giving up. Why are retail investors giving up? Why at 67, 68,000 are retail investors giving up? I don't know. I can't explain it. Sideways movement. Why would retail be giving up? Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just putting more money into alts, getting ready for altcoin season. Maybe that's the reason. But it kind of sucks that whale addresses and whale wallets continue to skyrocket, and then you see retail wallets come down. That's not what we want. We don't want the big boys to take in everything, to steal all of our Bitcoin.